In general, what we're saying is that there's a lack of liquidity for borrowing the stock. I want to go short this stock and I need to borrow it in order to short it. There's a lack of availability. Now, if you own this stock and you're lending it out and you see this lack of availability, you're thinking, okay, I have the thing that's in demand. I have the supply. Let me raise my prices.
Yeah.
And so that price is the borrow cost that you're paying. And so when you have a stock which is, let's say maybe it's a low float stock, meaning most of the shares are still privately held, they're not floating on the market, or it's just a stock where there's an exceptional short demand. Maybe there's, a short seller comes out with some report, or they announce they're going to delay filing, or something tangibly negative happens, and suddenly there's this big increase in shorts, and there's not enough supply, and so they'll raise up the borrow cost to say, okay, basically hit a new equilibrium of where the buyers and sellers are meeting at that borrow cost price.
So what do you say to folks out in the audience that are not institutional investors? What do you say to the audience that says, hey, this market, why isn't it public?
Why aren't there? Well, one thing I would point people to is an excellent book called Don't Blame the Shorts.
That's shamelessly self-promotional. You're not allowed to do that because that's my book, but
But a point that I will make from it that is actually really important is that this wasn't always this way. There was transparency. And if you look back to before, not the financial crisis of 2008, but the financial crisis of 1929, prior to that, there were publicly available borrow rates that were in the Wall Street Journal. And so this was more transparent 100 years ago than it is now.